So if we weren't already excited for the Legend of Zelda movie, well, we just got some more information on the movie, and let's just say that it looks good. Like, it looks really good. Now, when I say it looks good, I'm not saying that I know exactly what's going to be taking place in the movie. I'm not saying that I know every picture that's taking place. In fact, I don't have a single picture, but what I do know is the location. The location of the Legend of Zelda movie is in fact going to be taking place in the trilogy of the Lord of the Rings. So essentially, you can look at it like Middle Earth. The Legend of Zelda movie is going to be taking place in Middle Earth. Now honestly, this is great in many different ways. It could show a new future to the Legend of Zelda series. So what's going on, everyone? How's your day going? Let's get straight into the video. So, unlike the Mario movie, or even any other fantasy video game movie, this one is going to be completely different. It's essentially going to be similar to the Lord of the Rings series, where it was a fantasy-like adventure, which honestly, this is really cool. Because sometimes you want a refresher from the video game series, although it would be pretty cool to just jump into a game that you already seen in a movie, and there you go, kind of like the Super Mario Galaxy where you're pointing at the screen. Yeah, I know these places, but overall, this is really something that I find awesome, because instead of exactly what's going to happen, well, technically if you played any of the Legend of Zelda games, you know what's going to happen. Ganondorf is going to reign supreme, going to take Zelda captive probably, and then you're going to go as Link, just a young person in the middle of complete nowhere. It's pretty much like your Frodo from Lord of the Rings, where eventually you either find a sword and you play hero, or maybe your grandma had the Link's tunic or something like that, kind of like Wind Waker. Or overall, you're pretty much going to your adventure. And honestly, I think that this right here is the greatest way that they could have took it, because then you're at the edge of your seat wondering, what's next? What's next? Oh my goodness, I can't wait. This is gonna be great. But overall, there's definitely a lot of things that I think this movie can very well hit right. Because I honestly think that the Lord of the Rings series was fantastic. It was so good, and it was praised for its adventure and its beautiful arts and like the ways that they did the movie. It honestly is a fantastic way. Then we can actually see what happened and how the worlds were created with all the goddesses, using a fantasy-like experience instead of copying directly from the games and saying, hey, you played all the games, there you go. First off, that wouldn't work. At this point, there's way too many Legend of Zelda games to just directly take one story and say, there you go. Since it's called the Legend of Zelda movie, not the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time movie, they're going to have to figure out something. So this just gives them the perfect way to just find a story that works, and there you go. Honestly think that this is fantastic. Then you can see the Battle of Hyrule, or you can see more explanation on the Triforce, or things like that. I think this is great, and it being like Lord of the Rings is just even better. You can kind of get an idea on how this is going to be. So I honestly think that this is how they could do it. Maybe they can stumble inside of some town. Now I don't believe it's going to be the Shire. It's probably not going to be the Shire. It's most likely going to be some village, or maybe just a house in the middle of nowhere. All of a sudden, Link wakes up, he's like, ooh, what's happening? All you see in the distance is boom, or something's going on over there. Zelda's fighting, all of these things, and then they lose the battle, and then Ganondorf ran supreme, and then he's got Zelda captive because he's trying to get the Triforce or something. And then all of a sudden, Link gets up, starts going, making its way, and then all of a sudden, he gets himself a sword and all of this stuff. He's like, oh yeah, what are you doing? I'm gonna go and save the day. And then there's someone, maybe it could be Impa, sends him on a quest to go and get himself the sword or the pendant or something like that. All of a sudden, you get all the pendants, you go to one thing, and it's going to be like a dungeon. Don't worry, it's going to be something like a dungeon. I'm not saying it's a video game, but some sort of dungeon. He has to fight off some sort of boss, hack and slash and whatever. He wins the battle, then he makes his way back with all of the pendants. He was told to go to the Temple of Time. You can make your way over, or should we say Link makes his way over to the Temple of Time, gets the Master Sword. All of a sudden, we run on back, and then darkness spreads across Hyrule Castle once again. So essentially, this would be taking place in the New Zealand Middle Earth. I believe Middle Earth is going to be essentially, or Hyrule is going to be on essentially what Middle Earth was. So we can take that as a cool little map. and all of a sudden we keep going, and then maybe Ganondorf is going to be taking place in Mordor, which is the volcano place. So maybe that's where his kingdom is going to be. Link goes up, Master Sword in hand, all dressed in could be armor, probably going to be a tunic, however. We keep going, and then all of a sudden you slash away and you get rid of all of this stuff. Honestly, think that this would be a fantastic movie, and I can't wait because, like I said, I love the Lord of the Rings series because it really had that adventure in mind. You put the Ring of Power and enemies can see where you are, but you also disappear. So technically, the person who is in command of the Ring of Power, they knew where you were, but pretty much everyone around you didn't know where you were because you had that Ring of Power. Now, of course, it was a little bit different from a human using it and then an actual sort of ghost god using it, so that was a little bit different. But you see, it would be really cool if something like that happens with the Master Sword, for example. Like, Link's the only one that can command the Master Sword. Someone else touches it, maybe he drops the Master Sword in battle or something, because that's never happened inside of a Legend of Zelda game. So we're gonna have to see what happens if Link loses the Master Sword. Can they just pick it up, or is it gonna send off light blades or something like that? Overall, the Legend of Zelda movie is going to be filmed in New Zealand, and is going to be the place of Lord of the Rings. So if you watch Lord of the Rings, you're most likely going to recognize some places. If you went to New Zealand or you live in New Zealand, you're going to most likely recognize some places. It's going to be great. It's going to be the action fantasy role-playing game or the role-playing movie that we've always wanted, something like this. Because honestly, I think one of the greatest qualities of the Legend of Zelda series is in fact how good the story actually is. No matter what game you play, the story is fantastic, like actually amazing. You play Breath of the Wild, the story was actually good. Now I know there's a lot of you that probably didn't like the story because you can go to one place, then the next place, and then get spoiled from the last ending of the story because you got it all wrong. But overall, the point is the story was great. Hyrule Warriors expanded on that story. It was amazing. Tears of the Kingdom, good story. A Link Between Worlds had a good story. Wind Waker, good story. Like, point is, they had amazing stories, so I have no doubt in my mind that this could be a 10 out of 10 movie because it really has that story aspect going there. What makes a good movie is, in fact, just good story, good driven story, action, and stuff like that. One of the big criticisms of the Super Mario Galaxy movie, fun fact, was in fact that there's not really a story going on. So overall, I think that the Legend of Zelda movie is I can't wait to see it in May of 2027. That's a long time to wait for this movie. I want to see what happens. Are we going to be seeing the next Legend of Zelda game? Because this could very well point into the next Legend of Zelda game. You're the action, fantasy, rogue player, whatever, and there you go, you're making your way on your adventure. It kind of be something similar to Breath of the Wild. It would kind of be something similar to, like, maybe Ocarina of Time in some way. But overall, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think that the next Legend of Zelda movie, or should we say the first Legend of Zelda movie, is looking great or not so great? Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. Consider hitting the like button, maybe subscribing if you're new. We do a bunch of different Nintendo content on this channel. Mario, Zelda, Pokemon, pretty much everything. So anyways, thank you so much. See you in the next one.